It turns out that authenticity is a superpower. According to a study published in February of this year, February of 2020, in the Harvard Business Review, entrepreneurs who are authentic, who be themselves in presentations to funding sources, are 3 times more likely to get funding than if they try to cater, try to read their audience and present something other than what is their true self. The same study, sadly, the bad news is that almost 70% of people in their most important meetings actually choose to not be authentic. They believe they need to cater. You know, today we're going to be starting different. Starting different is my new series. Hello again, folks. I'm Dean Minuto. We're never starting over. We're always starting different. Every day is a chance for us to hit a button and to be better than we were before. Every interaction with every customer, not only starting different, but start smart. I've been sharing 5 brain shortcuts with the acronym SMART, and I'll walk through them again with you in today's video that you guys can apply immediately to be more effective, to become better. Every day we're a work in progress. So behavior number 7 for today, we're going to talk about you personally, and we're going to talk about you as a leader within your organization. Because smart leaders make better decisions and achieve extraordinary results. And one of the behaviors that they apply is being themselves. From a brain energy standpoint, it's far easier. It takes less energy for us to be who we are than for us to try to cater to who someone else may want us to be. As a leader, it's also far more effective when we allow ourselves and our teams diversity and to be themselves. We totally expand what we're capable of. And again, in this one Harvard study, people are 3 times more effective. And I got to tell you, that's smart. And today I'm going to share with you the brain science around being yourself. So 2 tips that I'm going to give you to apply today. 2 tips that I wish someone had given me when I was a kid. I'll go through them in a second. They're about giving ourselves permission and also about signing a non-compete with ourselves. And the caution that I'll give to you after spending an entire summer sitting alone here in Florida is don't surround yourself with yourself. You need to surround yourself with people who are different than you. You know, part of this sequester, and yes, this is my back porch and there's worse places to have been stuck for the summer, but part of the time sitting on this bench by myself, I asked myself a question. I want you guys to consider this. What would you say if you were sitting next to your 21-year-old self? If you were having a cup of coffee with yourself at 21, what would you pass on? You know, there were 2 things I wish someone had given to me when I was a kid. Thing number 1, I wish they had handed me a permission slip. A permission slip to be myself and to make mistakes. I wish someone had told me, no one ever told me, you have permission to mess up. The second thing I wish they had shared with me, I wish they had made me sign a non-compete. A non-compete with everyone else on the planet except for myself. Oh my gosh, the pressure these 2 pieces of paper would have relieved for me over the years. If someone had said, number 1, it's okay to screw up as long as you learn from it. And number 2, don't compare yourself to others. Folks, let me tell you about the time we're in. We're in a time of disruption. We're in a time of chaos. People make mistakes, especially when they go into fight or flight, which we've been in all during this summer of 2020. Also, all we do is see everyone else online, what they're offering, what they're doing. We feel that we can't compete. We can't listen. Get rid of that. Let's start right there. I want you to have permission to be yourself, and I want you to redefine failing. Somewhere on this first sheet of paper, I'd like you to write the word F-A-I-L-I-N-G, and I'd like you to define it this way as you're starting different. Find an important lesson, invite needed growth. Find an important lesson, invite needed growth allows us to reframe any mistake we make. I have a friend, his name is Bill. Bill wrote a book, a wonderful book a year or 2 ago. Bill Wittich wrote Fail More, and on page 28, he has this great line. Failure is a word that lacks power unless you give it meaning. Let's take away its power Every time we make a mistake is an opportunity for us to learn, and that's smart. That's what smart leaders do. Smart leaders help people make better decisions and they achieve extraordinary results. They find a way to connect their company's values to their team's behaviors, and they create extraordinary experiences for their customers, and they do it every day. So take out those 2 sheets of paper, and really quickly, I just want to give you a few tips today. On the first sheet of paper, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to consider how the brain responds to chaos. Right now, we can hold ourselves and our teams accountable for responding differently than we have been responding. And I just want to start with 2 definitions. The word accountable, really a synonym, is responsible. The word responsible, I break up into 2 words, response-able, able to respond. We have the ability to choose how we're going to respond. So what I'd like you to do on the first sheet of paper, I'd like you to draw a line vertically, top to bottom, and a line horizontally. And I'm going to create for you the brain's GPS again in today's lesson. Draw a triangle in the center. The triangle represents change or difference. That's why we're here. We're here to make a difference. But often in chaos, we don't know where our true north is. We don't know how to make a difference. So here's the brain's GPS. In any situation, whoever we're dealing with, including ourselves, our brain asks 2 questions. It has 2 goals. First, how do I stay alive? That's gain. Second, how do I use as little energy as possible to achieve the first goal? That's pain. So if you look at this, we now have 4 boxes, and you see true north is up where my starting different button is. High gain and low pain. Let's focus on making a difference, giving people as much as we can, and making it easier for them. By the way, the behaviors that fall into this quadrant I refer to as smart behaviors. A quadrant 1 behavior allows people to get the most from you and for it to be the easiest for them to do that. And by the way, that's what I refer to as the SMART shortcuts. So SMART is an acronym. On the second sheet of paper, I'd like you to write the word SMART across the top. Down the left-hand side of your sheet, we're going to define SMART with 5 cognitive biases. SMART stands for supply, motion, ask, relate, and trust. Today's behavior, being yourself, actually falls into the relate and the trust cognitive biases, the shortcuts that the brain uses. So let me go through the first one. Relate. We look for 3 things to connect with people. The cognitive biases around liking, and I refer to the 3 C's. Number 1, someone who likes us, someone who pays us a compliment. Guys, I want you to be authentic and true to yourself. If you like something, I want you to share it with people. Share it with your team, share it with your clients. Pay them a compliment. Extremely powerful from a brain perspective. Compliments release dopamine in humans' brains. That makes them feel good, folks. Number 1, if you want to relate, pay a compliment. Number 2, if you want to relate, second C, find things in common. This is what's really important about you being yourself, being authentic. When you're yourself, people can find things truly in common with you. We like those who are like us. But the third and most powerful C is about collaboration. We like people who put their arm around us and say we're in this together. So part of this behavior around being yourself is also choosing to include others who aren't like you. So there's brain shortcuts around relate. That's the R in SMART. There's also brain shortcuts around trust. We're far more likely to trust someone who is being authentic. People can sense if you're being inauthentic. People can sense if you're actually applying what is referred to as catering. Catering says, I'm going to try to connect with you about an attitude or about something that, I'm really being dishonest about. I want you to understand this. If you value honesty, if you value acting with integrity and being ethical, you need to apply that, manifest that as being authentic, being yourself. We also trust people who admit when they make mistakes. Back to that example, back to that permission slip. Folks, you have permission to make a mistake. You also have permission to bring it up first. In psychology, the term is referred to as stealing the thunder. Lawyers refer to it that way, others do. It's us bringing up a weakness first. We trust people who bring up a weakness or an objection first. So I've given you some tips today. Guys, any single one of these, I want you to know my goal. My goal is to help you get better, and you can. You and your team every day can get better in every way. And here's the math. Improve 1% a day, that's it. And in 70 days, you're twice as good as you are today. So what are the activities and behaviors that lead to that 2x outcome? What you do, what your team does makes a difference. These are the behaviors. I refer to them as the essentials of YES in the programs I teach. Thank you for letting me share with you today behavior number 7, be yourself. And I wish you the best this week. I look forward to sharing with you my next video. Thank you.